Hello YouTube, my name is Amisbro. This is your first impressions for Utena Princess Sama, Maji Love Legend Star. And oh Lord howdy, is this a bit of an emotional episode for me? I'll tell you why. So, to do that we have to actually go through it. So the episode starts in almost the traditional manner that we've come to know. All the boys greet Haruka. All of them. But not just 7, not just 11, 18. All 18. The 7 from Stars, the 4 from Quartet Night, the 7 from Heavens. And they all have their own unique way of greeting her. The best one, personal opinion, was Kutter and Van's. Why? Well, how do I explain this? He literally was winking at her, and it almost like a weird peace sign was going, "Hi, Jen." I can't wink, so don't expect me to try and replicate it, but you get the idea. He also had some interesting lines in a later section. But it's revealed who won the Triple S. And it wasn't who you thought. But that had to be expected because of the way the season was going to be set up. So, your winner turns out to be Quartet Night. Alright. The thing of it is they turn it down. Now, there's two ways you can look at this. It was expected because of stuff that may happen in the season, well, also the fact that they're in the visual. But there's another way you can look at this. They accomplished what they wanted to do. So, why would you say, we want to beat you, and then you do it, and then say, okay, now we beat you, we're not going to take the prize that we were supposed to be fighting for. That doesn't make sense. Then again, when Heavens accidentally hijacks the competition, yeah, that can kind of be expected. So, okay, maybe I can see it then. But, and they do kind of explain that, but at the same time I'm sitting there going, I couldn't imagine writing the story in that way for Quartet Night. Because you know automatically probably if Starish had won, they probably would have taken it and ran. They got to win Triple S. They're done. Let's go. Move on. But that's not what happened. What did happen is that was, by the way, in the flashback segment. Then you get to the crux of the episode. And we get to see Tomo for the first time. That was pretty interesting. And they have an interesting discussion. Now they have two discussions. The first one is more or less talking about how we've gotten to where we've gotten to. And they're also talking about the big day of what was decided by the committee of what to do with the standoff as far as the competition goes. Who wins? Do you get what I'm saying? So, we're watching this, and it's like, okay, cool. So then she's waiting for a taxi. Here comes a big-ass pimpmobile, as I call it. And who belongs to this vehicle? None other than our boys from Heavens. And dear God, let me explain two things. One, their song was kick-ass. Two, there's a reason I endured a year and a half of bullshit from people who are Starish fans and not the biggest fans of Heavens. Because I knew if something happened that could potentially turn anti-Heavens people into potentially Heavens fans, then this was probably going to be it. And I've heard when they did the screening that this was going to be the episode that would start to turn people into Heavens fans. Congratulations, you've been indoctrinated. What happened was, she gets pulled into this, what I refer to as the Pimpmobile. They do their song, and while they're doing their song, we also get their own individual intros to Haruka. First off, Ichi is still a little bit of a perverse individual, but that's actually started to grow on me because he wasn't as much of a creeper as he was in season 2. Then passed off to his brother, Igi. And Lord howdy, we have a gentleman on the crew. Actually, we have a couple, but he's really one of them. Like, seriously, no joke. 10 out of 10, this kid needs to be protected at all costs, and we need to see more of his character, not just in this season, but if they do a second season, we need more of it. Because goddamn, I was already in love with the kid. We've also, of course, got to see Kira voiced by, of course, by the main man, Ono D, Daisuke Ono. And if those of you forgot who he played in Black Butler, he played Sebastian Michaelis. Guess what kind of came out through his character in this series? Yeah. Let's just say, according to the subtitles that were given on Anime Network, yeah. Whew. It was getting hot in here because my man was laying it on. Of course, you have Shion, who he's got skills with the ladies. Nagi, who surprised the ever-loving hell out of me. Legitimately. I swear to God, he went NSFW before, Of course, you have Yamato, and I believe I covered everybody. If I missed one, I'm trying to think who it is right now. Let's see. Ichi, Eiji, Kira, Nagi, Shion, Yamano. Yamano? I think I got them all. But anyway. Somebody will put in the comments what I forgot, because I'm drawing a blank right now. Point is, they were all awesome in their own way. And they seriously won me over. Not just with their song, but with their characters outright. Then we get to Quartet Night. Now, if anybody knows me from Season 2 and Season 3, I have been a staunch Quartet Night fan. Here's the problem. A little bit with what Reiji did at the beginning of the episode, but also just with the song in general. I felt like this. Okay, here's my character. There's no real. Now, granted, it's the beginning of the season, so what can be expected? But I didn't really see anything that made me go, okay. And even their song in the thing kind of really didn't do anything for me. Like, no joke. As you see, as we're going to go through this, it literally went like this. Quartet Night 1, Starish was 2, although their outfits were a little and Kenshio please lose the hat? We get it, you're short. You don't like to be short. Lose the hat, goddammit. You don't need it. Especially when the goddamn thing was like a derby that people would wear when they go to fucking Derby Day. But anyway. So, they do their song, which was actually pretty cool. By the way, I love how Otoya had to quickly go, I love you. I mean your music. Like, we get it. You're under the contract that states you cannot fall in love with somebody. We get that. Quit beating it over our heads. You've done that now for 3 seasons. Like, Jesus Christ, Otoya. But like, no joke, their songs are actually really good. If we want to talk about the outfits, outfit-wise, I kind of liked Starish's maybe first, but it was like a really close thing between them and Heaven's, because Heaven's, love them. Love their outfits. And when you look at those two, it's like, alright, cool. But, Quartet Night was like, dressed in all black, and I'm like, okay, but you did that for the Dice Star cast. You get what I'm saying? Like, not the whole song, but part of it. Remember that? I'm sitting there like, what differently are you doing? It's almost like they know who they have to develop in 13 episodes. So they sort of kind of plateaued Starish and Quartet Night, but they started to bring up Heavens to their level. And either they're figuring they have to do it quickly because they have 13 episodes, and maybe this will be the final season, or they're doing it quickly because they know they need to get a game out for them soon, and potentially that will be coming up in the future. I think it will actually, but I'll talk about that later. What's interesting about this, and also the idea that, okay, they're going to do the concept of one composer, 3 songs. Alright, that's cool. Now here's something that was kind of a flub, I think, when they did the writing for the script. This is just a personal nag for me. You cannot have a character say to the lead character, you have to write the songs with no bias. And then turn around 30 seconds later and say to that same person, but we know that you have been with blank from the start. Then you're telling her that she's going to probably have a bias potentially. That's like you literally told her 2 different things in 30 seconds. You can't contradict yourself. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I get why they said that, because she has been with Starish technically since season 1. But you cannot have a character, major or minor, say one thing, then turn around and say something else that could potentially be contradictory to what you said before. It doesn't work. If I wrote something like that in a story, and I showed that to somebody, they'd say, wasn't that a bit of a hypocritical statement? I'd have to look at it and I'd go, well, fuck yeah, it is. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, I love Tomo's character, but she clearly is showing her bias, and she's telling Haruka that you have to write these unbiasedly. What? That part bugged me a little. And I like, here's the thing, I'm harping on this one segment. I liked the episode as a whole. I loved it, actually. But what's going to be interesting, and here's something to think about. Haruka has to write 3 songs. She has to write Heaven's song, she has to write Quartet Nights, she has to write Starish's. Cool. We have 13 episodes, well, 12 now. The next 3 weeks, okay? I think it's 3 weeks. Till the 26th. 2 or 3 weeks. We have no character singles coming out. So, we have this issue. We have a situation where drew a blank for a second. Give me a second. We have a situation where we either have to do like 3 to 6 DVD exclusive songs, or we have to literally do the group songs before we do the other songs, because otherwise we got a problem. And this is something that, to my knowledge, Udipre's not done. You've not had a situation where you have this big gap between the character songs and the group song. Because not only do you have that gap, but after the final duet with Ichi and Toya, there's like, I think, a 2-week gap. So, you know, that's an interesting situation. The other thing, they clearly stated this, and by the way, in the series, the final episode will be the 24th. Now, the 24th is a Saturday here. It'll be the 25th, Christmas Day in Japan. So this brings us to an interesting situation as to where is the series going, because also in the course of the season, or the episode rather, there was talk about this is the final concert, this is da-da-da-da-da. There's a lot of finality being talked about here. Now my question is so we get that this is Star's story. We pretty much already know what the end game is going to be. Okay? Would you, if you're Broccoli, risk alienating fans who may starting to really be coming to like Heavens, and would you consider not doing a season because you're afraid you're going to piss off the Starish fans? Because legitimately speaking, if you're afraid to piss off them, just because, and use that for your justification to not do a Heaven season, that's a problem. And it clearly shows that, at least for the anime, there was no intention, truthfully, to develop Quartet Night or Heavens beyond this season. That's a problem. Because you know already that there's going to be people that want to see more Heavens after, especially after this episode. This episode, let me just come around and say this right now. This episode probably made more Heavens fans than you realize. Now, it was already announced also, I'll say this, that there's going to be a 6th stage, and all 3 groups are going to be there. Stars, Quartet Night, Heavens. Maybe talking about finality with Starish was a bit of a troll. Maybe. Because think of it this way. If you look at the ending song, which is Legend Star, you may notice something a little bit interesting. It is a little bit heavy on Heavens. But why would you do that if this is the final season? Do you see what I'm saying? So, what we're looking at is a potential situation where the future of Udipre is not cut and dry. It's not black and white. It's not. This is the final season. We could get a see you next time. Go to in spring. We can go to 6th stage and find out, oh, by the way, there's a 5th season. Oh, by the way, it's going to feature Heaven. It's going to be focused on Heavens. Oh, by the way, you know when we were talking about finality in the 4th season? Yeah, we trolled you again. At this point, can you really, really take them saying it's final seriously? Because people were thinking and telling you it was the final season last season. Yeah, we thought that. Then June 27th came, bam, everybody finds out it's not. What happens? Do you see what I'm saying? Udapre is a very special property. This episode here proved it. I'm going to tell you something right now that I have told people as I sat here, or typed on Tumblr as I sat here typing it. For me, I endured a year and a half from June 27th of last year to now. I endured a year and a half as a person who is a Heaven supporter. And people accused me of not liking Starish. I endured that. Factually, I do like him. But let me explain something to you. Heavens is a group I'm going to support for as long as Udapre remains, and even beyond. Because you know something? God damn it, they deserve it. And after this first episode, they really deserved it. And if you don't think so, watch it. Because, whoo boy. This episode and this season is one you definitely need to go out to see. This is going to be a wild ride. We have 12 weeks left of this season. Is it the final? Well, that's to be determined. But this is the 4th season of Udapre. And this is Legend Star. I firmly believe it's going to start to become the beginning of a certain group's legend, and for another one, it could be finality, but we shall find out together. You, my friends, have a great night. I will talk to you all tomorrow when we look at Magic Gown Renaissance for the first time. See you then, my friends. Bye-bye.